Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. But today, we explore the path of the monk who fears nothing. Look at your life. You clock in at the exact minute required, slide into your chair, and perform the absolute bare minimum to avoid getting fired. You swallow every minor insult from your peers, agree with strategic decisions you know are disastrous, and keep your head lowered to protect your tiny, fragile peace. You are the mediocre person. You are a master of quiet desperation, living a life completely paralyzed by the fear of failure, change, or rejection. You tell yourself that by staying completely invisible, you are playing the smart game. You believe that if you do not take risks, if you never speak up, and if you adapt perfectly to your comfortable stagnation, the world will eventually reward you with absolute safety. It is a pathetic, cowardly illusion born of pure mental decay. You are actively treating your existence like a slow, painful waiting room for death. The paradox is absolute. By trying to preserve your comfortable mediocrity, you ensure your life becomes a hollow shell, decaying under the weight of your own cowardice. There is a hidden, terrible architecture to this quiet surrender. Every single time you choose the safe, mediocre path, you accrue a massive psychological debt that rots your self-esteem from the inside out. And the terrifying mystery you refuse to face is that the safety you are desperately clinging to is the exact mechanism that ensures your permanent spiritual death. A trap that remains entirely hidden until your time has completely run out. The ancient world had absolutely no room for the hesitant. In the bleeding, mud-soaked soil of feudal Japan, a man who sought absolute safety was already a corpse. The Zen monastics did not seek safe, comfortable lives. They actively trained their minds to remain entirely unshakable under the cold edge of a sword. Your internal enemy is not a difficult boss, a bad economy, or a competitive modern society. Your true enemy is the internal coward that craves comfort and certainty before taking a single step. You have traded the deep, sovereign jade of an unshakable mind for the cheap, tarnished copper of temporary security. You look at the historical Zen master and see a peaceful, passive monk, but you fail to see the terrifying, absolute internal discipline that allowed him to stand completely unmoved before emperors and warlords. The modern mediocre person lives in a state of perpetual psychological decay, entirely paralyzed by the mere fear of a difficult conversation, while a true warrior monk understands that absolute fearlessness is the only true form of freedom. Let us look back to an era of absolute military dominance, where a single wrong word to a warlord meant instant decapitation. By the early 17th century, the Tokugawa shogunate had established an iron grip over Japan, demanding absolute submission from all, including the Buddhist temples. Amidst this crushing standard stood Takuan Soho, documented historical fact records that he was not a passive, quiet hermit hiding from reality, but a fiercely independent Zen master of the Rinzai sect who openly defied the highest political authorities. When the shogunate sought to control the appointments of Zen masters in the infamous Purple Robe Incident, Takuan did not bow his head, remain silent, or choose the safe path of mediocrity. He protested the decree with absolute clinical clarity, fully aware that his defiance would result in his immediate arrest, exile, and potential execution. It is said in popular Japanese legend that when a samurai warlord threatened Takuan with a drawn sword, the monk simply looked at the steel and smiled, completely unmoved by the shadow of death. While this unverified tradition captures his mythic fearlessness, his documented letters and teachings compiled for the legendary swordsman Yagyu Munenori reveal a precise, unyielding strategy of the mind. Fudochi Myojoroku, the mind of unshakable wisdom. Consider the visceral reality of Takuan's struggle. He was dragged from his temple, stripped of his honors, and marched into freezing exile under heavy guard. The mountain air was bitter, carrying the scent of pine needles, wet earth, and the metallic sting of iron chains. He did not beg for mercy. He did not compromise his principles to regain his comfortable position at Daitokuji Temple. He sat in perfect posture inside his cold, bare place of exile, his face an absolute mask of unreadable granite focus. He understood that the moment a man lets his mind stop and attach to a fear, whether it is the fear of exile, poverty, or death, his mind is immediately captured and his freedom is lost. Takuan taught that the mind must flow continuously like water, never stopping at any single target, never clinging to safety. By refusing to let his mind attach to his own survival, he became completely untouchable. The shogunate eventually realized they could not break a man who was already dead to his own fears, and they recalled him from exile, placing him as an advisor to the shogun himself. Takuan moved with the quiet, crushing momentum of a mountain, proving that true power does not belong to those who hold the sword, but to those who hold absolute mastery over their own minds. The mechanics of your failure are simple. You confuse cowardice with practicality. You tell yourself you are being realistic, careful, or waiting for the right moment, when in reality, you are simply too terrified of the discomfort that comes with taking a stand. Every single time you keep quiet when you should speak, every time you choose the safe, mediocre option, you chip away another piece of your internal sovereignty. If you want to break this cycle of quiet decay, you must adopt the unshakable posture of Takuan Soho. You must realize that your fear of failure is a prefabricated cage you have built for yourself. Unfetter your mind. Stop. Look at yourself right now. You are listening to these words, feeling a sudden surge of inspiration, imagining yourself as a brave, unyielding figure while sitting perfectly still in your comfortable chair. But the truth is, the moment this video concludes, your mediocrity will reclaim you. You will go back to doing just enough to survive. You will hesitate before speaking up at work. You will choose the easiest, softest path because your mind is addicted to the illusion of security. Inspiration is the drug of the weak. The Zen monk does not rely on a transient feeling to maintain his focus. He moves because his code demands absolute mental readiness at all times. If you are going to continue living a life of quiet desperation, turn this off right now. This path is reserved exclusively for those willing to look into the void and take absolute accountability for their destiny. Sovereignty is a cold, lonely road. It requires you to stand completely naked in your decisions, accepting the full weight of failure or success without a single excuse. No more asking for permission to be strong. No more shrinking your shoulders to make those around you comfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. Let the modern world marvel at your sudden, unyielding stillness. The era of your mediocrity is dead. Step onto the jade path of the Zen monk. Hold your ground and let the world adapt to you. Conquer the fear. Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.